was like, I'm actually not a lesbian mum, I'm a man.
Hi, I'm Ezra.
Hi, I'm Ed.
And today we're making a video together, so we're answering trans questions from a different perspective, because I'm nearly 2 years on T.
And I'm 3 weeks on T, but we're gonna say 2 weeks because it sounds cooler.
Better ring to it, you know.
How long did it take for you to actually start testosterone?
Okay, so I started testosterone on the 18th of March 2023, but like to actually get it, it was a process. But living in Brighton, I found that my process is a lot smoother than a lot of people's, because this place has bridging prescriptions. But yeah, it didn't take me very long. I would say a few months to actually get on it.
Yeah.
From seeking it out.
Yeah, I was about the same. Mine took me about a month and a half maybe. I'm also in Brighton, so I also got a bridging prescription. Same thing really, where they gave me like 3 months worth. Although to be fair, I'm only like 3 weeks, but I think I'm like halfway through the first bottle. So I've actually got quite a lot left. Yeah, they're taking good care of me.
What did your dose start at?
I'm currently on 2 pumps a day, so I do one up there and one up there.
Yeah. It's very fun if you put it on your thighs as well, because it promotes hair growth. So stomach, very fun for hair growth. Thighs.
I always put the leftover bits on my stomach.
Yeah, my friend Theo,
a little happy trail.
He always puts his here, and he has like more hair on his upper arms because of it. Which is a fun place to have hair.
It's gnarly. I think the other day I accidentally got a tiny bit on my ear, and then I started growing like a bit of hair on my ear, and it was so weird.
That's so fun. Does testosterone stop your period? Yeah, I mean, it can do. Personally, I went on hormone blockers like 6 months in to being on T, because I could not deal with periods anymore. They told me I had to wait. I think I actually waited 3 months or 6 months. I can't remember. But it was like a period of time at the beginning of testosterone. And I'm still on hormone blockers now, because I'm terrified of it coming back.
Yeah.
So I want to do everything I can so that it never comes back. So yeah, I guess at some point I'll figure out if my body doesn't do it anymore, but gotta have a period in the process, and no thank you.
Period. So I'm on the desogestrel pill, and I have been since before I started my transition, which is essentially a contraceptive that stops your periods and stops you making babies. So your reminder that going on T does not make you infertile if you are sleeping with someone who does have that biology.
Yeah.
Get on the pill.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
You ever wish that you were born as a male? Absolutely.
Kind of sometimes.
Absolutely, but in the way of like, my life is what it is, and I would have an entirely different experience if I wasn't who I am, and like wasn't exactly how I am right now, and like I probably wouldn't have figured so many things out and like feel so content within myself now if I'd have just been born male. I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where I can't be, so, but I'm happy.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree, because it's like, my life would be a lot easier if I was born as male, but I wasn't, and I don't believe in regretting things, because you can't change the past.
No, for real.
However, being a trans man, I do have a very different perspective on the world that I'm very happy to have, because I feel like if I was cis, you know, I'm a lot more compassionate towards these things.
Yeah. I find that my energy towards things and my entire perspective is different because I'm trans. And like, if I was able to take that away, like, who would I be?
Right?
Like,
Absolutely.
I don't entirely think I would have found the person that I am right now if it wasn't for everything that comes along with that. And that's also the fact I wasn't born male. So
also the community we found as trans people is so nice. I feel like I enjoy things a lot more, like the small progressions that I'm having through T. I don't think I'm articulating this very well.
Yeah.
But the small changes I'm having, you know, I appreciate a lot more than if it was a cisgender male puberty, you know?
And it's also the thing of like, I have friends that are trans that like maybe I wouldn't have made or like bonded on that level with if I hadn't have had the experience as well myself. Like, there are friendships that I think have formed better because of the fact that we have been trans in common.
Absolutely.
And can talk to each other about it. So don't regret it. but my life would be entirely different if it was different, obviously.
Yeah, no, definitely. Have you had any complications from tea?
Honestly, complications not as such, but like my dose was really low accidentally for a while. So I got my dose like checked with a blood test, because you can get it checked pretty often. You actually should get it checked really often, just in case you're not in the right range. But
Go to your health checks.
yeah, my range was like 2.9, which is low. Like it was really low, and that was with taking, it was gel, 2 pumps every day. So they either said that I could go up with my gel, like up the pumps with my gel, or I could switch to shots, because people can find that easier to absorb their testosterone correctly. So I just switched to shots anyway, because I was already taking hormone blockers, so I was like, I might as well just get shots as well. So I'm on Libido, and I found that it's working well for me. Like, I need to get a blood test soon to work out, see if my levels are better, but I feel like they are. Like, I've noticed another voice drop, so.
Yay! Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time when people talk about, like, side effects and complications of tea, they're basically talking about the side effects of being a man.
Oh, for real?
There's a lot of things that can elevate a lot of risks of certain, I want to say diseases, but it's really not that deep and high, because, like, I don't know. I wouldn't be scared to not go on tea just because you might be more likely to be at risk to something, because that's like saying that your cis brother should take estrogen so that he doesn't get ABC disease, you know?
Exactly. It's like when people love to say, like, oh, like, you're putting all this foreign stuff into yourself, and
we do that every day.
and like you're gonna like get a heart attack, and like you're gonna be more prone to heart attacks. It's like only as much as a cis man would on like puberty.
Which
so
I don't think is that higher than it is already.
No. And it's not like, we're not doing anything that's life threatening. We are saving our lives by transitioning.
Yeah. You eliminate a lot more risk. But wait, is that the right way to put it? Like, you're saving yourself a lot more by going on something that will make you euphoric and will sort out your depression about certain things, rather than to not and be scared of these things.
Like, it's important to know all of the factors that are in testosterone and in HRT in general. Like, it's important to know everything. Like, of course it's important to know. It's like how transphobes think that we're, like, not aware of testosterone or not aware. It's like, when I went to my appointment to discuss testosterone and the person gave me the leaflets and was, like, giving them to me, I already knew everything about it, because I've known everything about what I want to put in my body. Like, it's my body. I know all of the side effects. I know all of the long term, all of the short term. Because if it's something that I want to do and something that's going to be for myself and my transitioning, then you've got to be aware. So it's good to know those things, but also it's like, they don't scare trans people, because it's like, it's no different than a cis person anyway. It's just that we happen to not be cis.
Yeah, it's called informed consent, and I've actually been studying these things for years, so I'm good, thanks, Karen.
What is something I can do as a cis person to support and help trans people?
I think it's always good to be a good listener. It's always good to do some research.
I think not putting all of the expectation on said person, I assume you're talking about, to explain everything to you. So yeah, looking things up on your own, making an effort to just be there for them, really. Like, if they want to, if you're out with them and they need the toilet, like, maybe if you use the same bathroom that they want to be using, maybe offer to go with them. Obviously use their pronouns, which is a pretty simple one, but effective. Even when they're not in the room.
Yes,
guys.
yeah.
Even if you think they're not in earshot, if they go to the toilet in, like, a really loud pub and you're, like, she-herring.
You're not doing yourself
your he-him friend, like, no. So, just honestly, be there. Be a positive person in their life.
I think a really good exercise if you're struggling with, like, somebody's pronouns is, in your own time, just think about them and think, wow, she has a really nice dress on today. He is really cool. Just, like, compliment them in your head, and then you kind of, like, start to navigate yourself into... I get it can be quite hard at first, but as long as you have the right intentions and you're looking out for them.
I always recommend to get into practice is talking about the person when they're not there to your friends or family or whatever.
Yes.
Mr. Wizard is
Mr. Wiz is trying to
get on the tripod.
dismantle our tripod.
Hello.
Looks like he's about to jump.
We have a visitor.
Oh,
he
not
left.
anymore. I have one here that says, how and at what age did you come out to your parents?
So for me, I don't live with my parents anymore because I'm 23. So I moved out when I was 16. So I couldn't tell them in like a sit down, I explain to you that I'm trans way. I think I just messaged them on WhatsApp, honestly. But also, I'd been changing my pronouns and very much been raising the I'm trans flag for a long time. So it wasn't like a big like, oh my god, why hasn't he told us in person kind of thing. It was like, I remember my mum messaging me and being like, so are you my son now? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, I have 2 sons now. And that was like it, really.
So I came out when I was 12. I didn't really come out per se. My mum kind of looked through my phone and saw that I was... well, at first she saw that I had a girlfriend. Girlfriends in year 7. And she was like, okay, so I see you're like dating this girl. Are you a lesbian? I was like, yes, mum, I'm a lesbian. I'm sorry. And she was like, that's okay, but I've also seen that you're calling yourself a boy. And I was like, I'm actually not a lesbian, mum. I'm a man. Yeah, but, you know, didn't take it great. Still going through a rough patch, but that's okay. But, like, now I've moved out. I'm at uni. I'm 20. I'm my own person. I'm doing really well for myself. I think she's sort of getting there. It's okay.
Yeah. I think the one thing that we can often fixate on as people is wanting parental approval. Of course we do. Like, the main question I get asked all the time is, how do I come out to my parents? Like, can you tell me how you come out to your parents? How do you deal with unaccepting parents? And it makes me feel really sad because I know that all we want is to have parents accept us. And despite us being trans, even though there's nothing wrong with being trans, and I just want you to know that you are loved and you don't have any need to come out to your parents if you don't want to. And especially if you think that it's going to put you in a dangerous spot.
Look after your safety.
Yeah, and maybe make things a bit more tricky for you at home. The last thing I want you to do is come out to them and it make it worse. So just know that you are who you are, despite if you're out or not. So I hope you know that.
And even if not, there are people out there who will support you no matter what.
Exactly.
You always have a safe space somewhere.
Found family's a thing for a reason, guys.
Yeah, and they're awesome. I've got one here that says, what changes were/are you most pleased about, and vice versa. So, what are we most pleased about, and what are we least pleased about?
Okay, most pleased, voice and body hair. Oh, and the fact that like my arms are and my shoulders are just like bigger now.
Oh my god.
Like,
I'm so excited for that.
My just arm is just like a lot heftier than it used to be. And like, it's not like...
Hey!
And it's just wider. Like, just being like a bigger person is just cool as fuck. And just like my voice being deeper. Those are my favourite things. Least favourite, butt hair.
Oh, yeah,
But like, I
I'm
haven't
excited.
experienced butt hair to its full capacity yet. I'm sure that'll come in due course.
Sorry, I'm very distracted right now.
Right. Do you want to talk about your fave and least fave so far?
So my most favourite, and I'm not going to go into detail because this is YouTube, but my most favourite at the moment is bottom growth. Do your own research, but I'm very happy with it at the moment.
It is a very gender euphoric thing.
It's very euphoric.
I think personally, for down there to not look like a woman, it looks other. You know what I mean?
Yes,
To me, I associate it with man, like manhood.
Manhood.
And it just feels euphoric.
Absolutely.
And I think that it's something that I get asked about that seems to scare some people. And I think all I can say is do some research to see what you're getting yourself into. Because I don't think it's going to scare you as much as you think it will. And if it does scare you, don't go on HRT.
I mean, at first, like, when I first noticed mine, which was very recent, I was a little bit like, wait a sec, what is that?
It is like the first change.
But as soon as it kicks in, it's like, yo, like, that's wicked. I'm very happy with it. But then I'd say also, like, it's a weird one because my voice hasn't dropped yet, but within the first few weeks of getting on tea, I had this, like, really sore throat. But because I kind of knew that it was going to be like my vocal cords thickening, you know, it just made me really euphoric. I was like, yes, it's happening. Like, it's like that moment in High School Musical where they're like waiting for it to be like summer. It's like, like banging on the tables. Literally. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, I used to feel like I used to love having a cold. Like, I'd like make myself ill. So I'd be like, oh, that grovelly sound. It's like, I love it. And like, it's nice now that I don't have to be ill to have a voice that I can actually endure hearing.
Yeah. I don't know about least favourite though. I haven't gotten anything so far that I don't like.
Yeah, like butt hair's like a stretch.
Butt hair's
oh!
Not...
It's zoomy time.
It's zoomy time. He's getting out the zooms. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but when I do, I don't think I'll hate it. It might be an inconvenience, but I think, you know, it will feel... I've always thought about these changes that, like, if something comes along that doesn't feel, like, super fun, at least it's still a change that I would have as a man. So it still feels, like, kind of euphoric.
Yeah, I would say, like, upon reflection of the question and thinking more, I think acne is something that I've actually found quite tricky because I had such clean skin beforehand, like, but at the same time, teenage boys, like, you get acne, and also my acne has cooled down a lot more than it did at the beginning, and it also isn't as angry as, like, some of my friends have had it. Yeah. Like, I feel like I've had quite an okay thing. Like, for example, like, my dad, when he had puberty, like, he was very spotty. Like, he had so much acne and it was, like, really painful for him. So I kind of assumed that I might have, like, something happen during T because, like, if it was going to emulate my dad's testosterone, like, maybe I would have, like, acne too. And honestly, like, I've had, like, a noticeable amount, but in the 2 years that I'm coming up to, it has, like, leveled out. And also, I am on meds now for it, because you can always ask to be on meds for it.
Absolutely. If there's any changes coming up that you're not feeling great about, just speak to your doctor. There's some forms of testosterone you can take that eliminate certain things. You know, if you're worried about balding, which is a change I do not want, firmly do not want, but I know that if that happens to me, I can talk to my doctors and they will give me something to potentially stop that.
There are a lot of things to counteract the things that you might not like. For example, like with the balding, like there is fenestride and there's like other types of things, but you have to be careful with what you use. Definitely consult your doctor because some of them are toxic to cats. So some of the ones that you put in here, I can't remember what it's called. Minoxidil. Minoxidil is toxic to cats. So always be careful about your little ones because you don't want to be killing them with
that would be good.
Getting rid of your balding.
Yeah.
So basically, Mr. Wizard, if you're wondering what he's doing, he brings a spring and then he wants us to throw it so he can chase it.
Oh.
He's like a dog.
I didn't know what he was doing. I thought that was a present for me. Okay, I think this is the last question. How were you sure you wanted to start testosterone? I've known for a while, so obviously I came out when I was quite young, but I've always known that that was the path I wanted to go on. I've always been quite dysphoric about my face and my shoulders and my body, and since starting uni I felt like, God, I have this my face is being covered by a tail. Since starting uni I don't know, I feel like I've had this like new kind of, I don't know how to word it, this new like freedom. And so I put a thing on my story and being like, hey, people in Brighton, how did you start tea? And I got some advice. And yeah, I've always kind of known, essentially. But I think more so after getting towards the end of my puberty, not authentic puberty, my biological initial puberty, I didn't like those changes. I want them all gone. I want to undo them.
They're like the worst thing ever. They're
not good. We don't love them.
No.
Not so good.
I found that, for me, I had a lot of issues growing up with eating disorders and all those kind of things because of the fact that I'm trans. Because it was like, oh, if I shrink myself, then my chest will be tiny and it will all be okay. But it was never tiny enough, and that's why. So I found that transitioning for me actually was the most healing thing I could ever do. Like, it was like it was the one thing I really needed for a really long time, and I just like wish I'd have figured that out. But like when I did, I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot happier for it. There was a lot of things that I was dysphoric about, like my face, my body, all those kind of things, and I'm really looking forward to body composition change.
Yeah, fat redistribution and stuff. I'm very excited for that. I think that's the main reason that recently I've been feeling like I would quite like that. Just my genetics and the body I was born into is quite curvy, so hyped up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to feel more confident, and that's like what it's all about, isn't it?
And that's good. That's really good. It's okay to feel these things, and it's okay to get help. And I think your experience definitely shows that, like, I think it really shows that, like, gender affirming care. Can you move, mate? Thank you. Gender affirming care really is vital healthcare for trans people and for anyone, really.
Yes.
There's cis people out there who, like, for whatever
gender
reason.
affirming care can be for anyone.
It can be for anyone. Yeah. You know?
And it can take however long it takes to get it as well.
And it's perfectly okay, natural.
Yes. And if you're out there and you're seeking testosterone and you're watching this video because you really want to be on T, make sure you look up everything about it.
Do some
because
research.
I don't want your mum having a go at me, alright?
Yeah, we can't be having that. Go talk to some of your trans friends, ask them about their experiences. Hi!
Mr. Wizard wants to talk to you too.
Yeah, I think Mr. Wizard had something to say. Do you want to come up, mate? Come on.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed EdBankss.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me, Ez.
Yeah, please come back again soon.
Oh, hello.
Oh, we're going to say goodbye, Mr. Wizard? Goodbye. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, guys. Have a lovely day.